When people hear about the big one, many think it's just another headline meant to scare. But for those living along the west coast of the United States, particularly near the San Andreas Fault, the threat is very real. Scientists have warned for decades that a massive earthquake is not a matter of if, but when. The question for most people shouldn't be, will it happen? But rather, am I ready when it does? In this video, we'll take a grounded look at what a worst-case scenario earthquake would actually mean. Not just the shaking, but the ripple effects it could have on infrastructure, communities, and daily survival. This isn't about fear, it's about preparedness, because if you understand what could realistically go wrong, you're far better equipped to deal with it. What happens when the San Andreas Fault breaks? The San Andreas Fault is one of the most closely studied fault lines in the world. It stretches over 800 miles through California and forms the boundary between the Pacific and North American tectonic plates. When this fault finally slips in a major way, we could be looking at a magnitude 7.8 or greater earthquake. According to the U.S. Geological Survey's shakeout scenario, such an earthquake could rupture over 200 miles of the fault line, with the epicenter likely occurring in Southern California. The shaking could last up to 2 minutes, longer in some areas. During that time, major cities like Los Angeles, San Bernardino, and parts of the Bay Area could experience violent ground motion. The destruction could be widespread: structural collapses, fires from ruptured gas lines, buckled freeways, and complete power outages. Some older buildings, especially unreinforced masonry structures, may not survive at all. The worst part? Unlike hurricanes or wildfires, earthquakes don't come with a warning. Once the ground starts to move, you're either ready or you're not. Realistic aftermath: infrastructure, supply chains, and communication. The immediate destruction is only the beginning. In the hours and days after a major quake, emergency services will be stretched thin. Cell towers may be down. Hospitals will be overrun or damaged themselves. If you're injured, you may be on your own or dependent on neighbors for help. Water mains and sewage systems are expected to break. In past earthquakes, such as the 1994 Northridge quake, the water supply in affected areas was severely disrupted. Firefighters may not have access to water to fight fires, especially if water lines are severed. That could lead to uncontrollable urban fires similar to what happened after the 1906 San Francisco earthquake. Supply chains will also come to a grinding halt. Grocery stores operate on just-in-time inventory, meaning they only have enough stock for a few days. If trucks can't get in due to damaged roads or fuel shortages, those shelves won't be restocked anytime soon. ATMs and card readers may not work, making cash your only viable payment method. If you don't already have it, you're out of luck. Gas stations rely on power to operate pumps. If the electricity is out, you won't be filling your tank anytime soon. And public transit likely shut down entirely. In past disasters, we've seen how fast things can spiral. People begin panic buying. Looting becomes a risk. Even in the most civilized cities, desperation changes behavior. That's why being prepared ahead of time is essential. SHTF-style preparedness: what you actually need. If you're prepping for the big one, you're not just preparing for an earthquake, you're preparing for the breakdown of normal life. That means thinking like a survivor, not just a homeowner. Your bug-out bag isn't just for a camping trip, it might be your lifeline. Here's what you need to think about. Water. Have at least 1 gallon per person per day for a minimum of 3 days. Water purification tablets and filters are smart backups. Food. Store non-perishable food that doesn't require cooking. MREs, canned meals, and high-calorie snacks are essential. First aid. Stock up on more than just Band-Aids. Include painkillers, antiseptics, gauze, trauma supplies, and any prescription meds you rely on. Cash. Keep small bills in a safe but accessible location. Power. Solar-powered chargers, power banks, and extra batteries can keep you connected. Communication. A battery-operated or hand-crank emergency radio can be a lifeline for updates. Shelter. If your home is damaged, you may need to camp out. Tents, tarps, and sleeping bags are crucial. Security. While not always comfortable to discuss, consider how you'll protect yourself and your supplies in case of civil unrest. Pepper spray, alarms, or other deterrents can be useful. Toiletries. Hygiene matters in a crisis. Include toilet paper, sanitary products, soap, and waste bags. Lighting. LED lanterns and headlamps are more efficient and longer lasting than flashlights alone. Preparedness isn't about hoarding. It's about self-sufficiency when the systems you rely on can no longer support you. Mental and emotional readiness. Disasters aren't just physical, they're emotional and psychological too. After a major quake, people experience high stress, anxiety, and trauma. Understanding that this will happen and having tools to manage it can improve your resilience. Have ways to stay calm, breathing exercises, journaling, or simply talking with others. If you have children, prepare them mentally as well. Kids look to adults for how to respond. If you're panicking, they will too. Practice drills and have comfort items like blankets, stuffed animals, or games in your emergency kit. Staying ready. Practical steps before it hits. Preparedness doesn't have to be overwhelming. Start with a plan. Know where you'll go if your home becomes unsafe. Make sure your family knows what to do and how to reach each other. Practice earthquake drills at home, especially if you have kids. Anchor heavy furniture to walls. Know how to shut off your gas and water lines. Keep copies of important documents in a waterproof container. And don't forget your pets. They need food, water, and comfort too. Check your supplies every 6 months. Rotate your food and water. Update your kit as your family's needs change. If you rely on specific medications or medical devices, make sure you have backups or manual alternatives if possible. Consider taking a community emergency response team course, which is often offered for free by local governments. It teaches basic disaster response skills like fire safety, light search and rescue, and team organization. The goal is not perfection, it's resilience. The better you plan now, the more options you'll have when everything else is uncertain. The big one is a real threat, but it doesn't have to mean chaos for you and your family. By understanding the likely scenarios and preparing realistically, you shift from being a victim to being someone who can take control in the middle of a crisis. This isn't alarmism, it's a responsibility. Earthquakes can't be prevented, but disasters don't have to follow. Get prepared now, because when the ground shakes, it will be too late to start.